Today, I will show you how Stephen Curry went GOAT mode to bring the goal home. I will show you everything about Stephen Curry in these Olympic Games. And if you watch until the end, I'll actually tell you why the Golden State Warriors are the real winners of these Olympic Games. First, let's walk back 2 years to when Stephen Curry committed to these Olympic Games right after the Warriors won the 2022 title.
I still got something to do. I gotta go play for Coach Curry 24. Yeah, that's going to be great. I ain't good yet. I gotta get an Olympic medal, man. G. Hill, Steph just committed to the Olympics in 24. You heard it here first, G. Hill.
Can we say that Stephen Curry was the first Avenger? Probably. And from there, so last summer, and KD said that we're gonna see here in the screen, LeBron and Stephen Curry, they started texting people, and that's how this great US team was formed. See what KD just said. Last summer, LeBron started texting everybody, giving his input on who we all think should be on the team, and asking if everybody was playing. When we started sending those texts out, I kind of knew we were all going to get together and that this was a special time. And that's how the US 2024 team, the Avengers, was formed. But it's true that not everything started well for Curry. They needed to adapt. He needed to adjust. The style of play was very different. And for Curry, being used to the Warriors style with Steve Kerr, where there's a lot of ball movement, there's a lot of plays and running without the ball, it was tough. We saw plays where he was bumping with other US players, and he really started in a dry shooting thing. Like, well, let's look at the stats of the first 4 games: Serbia, Puerto Rico, South Sudan, and Brazil. And you will see like he was literally having a hard time in the beginning. So let's start here. So when the first game of the Olympics for the US, they played against Serbia, beat Serbia for 110-84. And you can see that Curry was struggling. He had 11 points, and that was actually the best game that he had among those 4. He played only 21 minutes, so you can see that it's lower amount of minutes that he's used to. As a poor shooting compared to what he's used at from 3 points, for example, 3 out of 7, so only 11 points. When you jump to the second game, South Sudan, you can see that was probably his worst game, right? So he didn't hit any 3 points, 0 from 6, only 3 points in the game, 21 minutes. He was really like, he couldn't find his rhythm in that game, and that was when US beat South Sudan for 103-86. And then we go to the game against Puerto Rico, and that basically continued. He made 8 points only, 2 out of 6. So he was struggling to find his space. And he commented about it at some point where he was mentioning like, it's a team that is different because everyone is a star. Everyone is used to play with the ball in their hands, to be that main and key player. So they had to distribute that. And a lot of times you could see that Curry and the team, they were overthinking. An extra pass, trying to be not selfish, trying to be more like, distributing the plays. And that was actually a struggling point for Curry as well. And that continues when he played against Brazil. So when they played for the quarterfinals, the US beat Brazil 122-87, but Stephen Curry didn't have a great game. It is true, in all of those games, if you look at the numbers, the points are very distributed. And I think that aligns with the fact that you have so many stars, right? But you could see that even compared to the other US players, Curry was struggling. So he had 7 points against Brazil, didn't make any. It's actually just shooted one 3-point, which is so rare for Curry. We know he's a high volume shooter, so 17 minutes only, and that was how he was struggling. So when you look to the overall performance of Curry in the first 4 games, he was averaging 7.3 points per game, 2 assists, 25 3-point percentage shooting. That's very low. Remember, Curry career is a 43%. So you could see that he started with problems in the Olympic Games. Ever doubted Stephen Curry? I didn't. I knew he would step up at some point, and he saved everything for that last 2 games. Look, in my opinion, no other player in the US was facing these Olympic Games as more important than him. Like, it was his first Olympic Games and probably the last one. So he knew he had 1 shot to get that gold medal. And when we went to those final 2 games, he stepped up for good. So look at the numbers: 60 points, 17 3-points out of 27. So he did great. And when you look to the stats for each game, 36 points against Serbia. Remember, this is one of the most exciting games. Serbia was leading for a while. And then we got to that fourth quarter. Stephen Curry came really clutch and made and put US in front, took the lead. And then he guaranteed that win and put the US in that final game. So 36 points, 9 3-point shoots out, 3 points out of 14. When you look to the France game, that was a little bit more comfortable. But even though in the last minutes, he scored basically nothing less than 4 3-points, 12 points on the board. Half of his points came in the last minute. There's a reason that Stephen Curry was the clutch player of the year this season in the NBA. So 24 points total, 8 3-points made. And that's how the U.S. and Stephen Curry led the U.S. team to the gold medal. And I want to show an image here for you that will show demonstrate how confident Stephen Curry and how great he is, like how he could be the only one to do this. Look at this picture. You basically have LeBron and KD open in the other side of the floor. 2 defenders over you, and he still shot that and made it. But it's not just about mating, it's being confident enough that you are the one that's going to do this. It's insane. And that's a Stephen Curry. That's how confident and how big he is for the game. And then this hack record that he's the only player with 35-point game in college, NBA, and Olympics. The only one. Separated here for you my top 5 plays, and I hope you enjoy. Take a look.
Working on Petrosev. Curry trying to shake loose. He does. Pump. 1 dribble. So much space. 2 minutes to play in the first half. U.S. by 4. Skip it. Curry. Quick trigger. Gets the roll. Folks. Curry. Step back. Pump. Curry. Ridiculous. Back to Curry. Dancing on Batum. Over the double team. Oh!
And hear what the media had to talk about Stephen Curry after these Olympic Games.
I have told y'all on many occasions that Steph Curry is the greatest shooter that God has ever created.
But when it comes down to Steph, hey, look, he may not come when you want, but he's always on time. And those last 2 games, especially the one to seal it all against France, listen, that's Steph Curry at his finest.
But there's the big thing. The real winners of the Olympic Games are the Golden State Warriors. And why is that? Just swing with me. First of all, they heavily rely on Stephen Curry, and he just proved the world he's still one of the best players out there, and that he can dominate any game in any level, any stage, and be an MVP of those games and make the difference. So it's great to the Warriors that know that even though he's getting older, he's still that guy and he's still top player anywhere else. On top of that, just think, the Warriors are passing through a moment of a lot of uncertainty, right? We have some players that we don't know if they're really going to deliver or not, such as Wiggins, the new guys that we brought to the team. So there's a few things to figure it out, and the Warriors going to have to make some adjustments. The Warriors didn't sign that second star that they were looking to pair with Stephen Curry. So we will depend a lot on him. And it's good that he's going to be in a good mood. He has the rest of his vacation. He's going to start training camp. And he's happy. He achieved that goal. Imagine if he had lost the gold medal, all the pressure that would bring. So the Warriors are actually, it went really well for them that this came the way it came. Not just the gold medal, but with Stephen Curry being the main guy on those final games. They are the real winners here. And I have one final question to you. Do you think Stephen Curry will play, and would you like to see him play in the next Olympic Games in Los Angeles 2028? And if you want to know how the Warriors could help even more Stephen Curry this season, watch this video here.